Hello everyone, thank you for joining. We'll wait 2 or 3 minutes to give everyone the opportunity to connect. Thank you for joining. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat, tell us where you're from, where you're located, and let's make it fun today, Steve. Let's see if people can add the weather of their locations. Yeah, I know you might have some very disparate weather because of different location. But we'll start in 2, 3 minutes to give everyone the opportunity to connect. There's more and more people connecting. Thank you for joining our webinar. And feel free to just intro yourself in the chat and tell us where you're from and the temperature, or if it's snowing or not.
Hmm. What's it like in Paris there, Cedric?
It's been cloudy and rainy, but it's not too cold. It's around 40 degrees Fahrenheit, I guess. Could be worse.
I'm out in Arizona here, so we've got a nice string of weather happening right now. It's like 75.
There's more and more people connecting. Oh, yeah. Yes, Derek, it's probably much nicer in San Francisco, for sure. Enjoy. They will start in 1 minute. Very good. I think it's 3 minutes after the hour. I think we don't want to waste anybody's time. Let's start,
Yep.
Steve. Good luck with
All
the
right.
presentation.
We will jump in. So thanks everybody for attending and looking forward to walking you through and giving you kind of a glimpse into the future and wealth management and AI and how we're helping firms be successful in leveraging technology in this new world we're entering into. So a little bit about myself. I've spent 7+ years now helping wealth management firms more than double production per employee through the proper utilization of technology. And we do this by using really a people first framework and aligning people in the understanding of what we're trying to do in order to leverage technology, and then that further accelerates our ability to to leverage technology to create progress. And we believe that people are the ones who are going to influence reality, not technology. As we get started, there's a couple poll questions we're going to be answering here. So here's the first one. If you can answer this real quick, just to get an idea of where your organization is at with AI.
Yes, Steve. So I'm popping up the question. You can see windows popping up, and it's going to be an interactive webinar. I'll give you 1 minute to answer, and then we'll share the results here. So everyone can benefit from everybody's insight. It's good to take the temperature from everybody to see where you are in terms of maturity with your AI projects and or enabling AI across your organizations. I know we all use AI in a personal manner now, but yeah, using it for business reason is a different project. Yeah, I can see it's still moving. 1 second. Yeah, I think it's stopped moving now. Let me share the results. So Steve, we have the leading response is the people are doing
Yeah.
at 50% early experimentation, and then at 42% actively using AI in part of
Actively
their
using.
business. Yeah.
Great. All right. So the goal of today's meeting, again, we want to bring more visibility into the real problem that needs to be solved in order for organizations to leverage AI effectively. And then we'll go into kind of a demo of both our framework and then also introducing some of the AI components and how organizations are going to be able to utilize and access this in the future. And then close with just some tools on identifying your own gaps and next steps, that will be helpful for you to take. So, first, I think what all of us are realizing is, in reality, AI makes execution cheap, right? It allows us to really create action faster than we can agree on what progress is. And what we've come to find is that alignment within the organization is becoming the new bottleneck. And without a clear outcome to guide AI, we don't scale progress, we just scale activity. And what we found is just outcomes provide when we establish those clearly defined outcomes in the organization, it provides us with a target to then assign clear ownership to the behavior that needs to occur to create it and create those transparent signals that allow us to validate whether progress is actually being achieved towards the outcome. So as most of you, I imagine, are experiencing or struggling with, or if you have been successful in leveraging AI, here's the areas that you're solving, right? Number one, data is siloed, can't be trusted. It's in different systems. It's not specific enough to guide AI on what needs to happen within the business. Our work is manual. We're reacting. We're putting out fires, and as a result of this, our capacity is capped. And while AI adds volume and more activity that can occur, it doesn't create alignment in the organization. And at the end of the day, we end up, struggling with leveraging technology, but the real problem is just that the clarity around what it needs to be doing is not defined. And what what we assist organizations in doing and what we recommend as you go to leverage this tool is getting clear on the outcomes that we're trying to create. And outcomes don't start with the tool. They emerge through our understanding of reality, and that goes, that emerges through this process of clarifying the outcome, spending time identifying the outcomes that we're actually trying to achieve, and then aligning intentions of the people through precise data, shared specific definitions of the data within your organization, and the clearly defined roles and metrics that will measure progress towards achieving the outcome. And when all of that is clear, now technology becomes an accelerator of progress. And as we go through these steps, we're then leveraging the feedback that we receive to, again, implement into the next iteration and continually drive more and more meaningful value in the organization because there's a clear understanding of what technology needs to do. We'll stop here for question number 2, and then I'm going to hop into a demo to kind of walk you through the framework and some of the AI functionality that we're seeing. But first, how ready do you think your firm is to leverage AI?
And this webinar is recorded. Yeah, I just saw a question about it, and we'll be sharing the recording after the webinar, of course. I go, it stopped moving, so I'm going to share the results.
All right, so we got mostly ready at about 36%, a little ready, 30%, not ready at all, 14%. Thanks for the honesty. 100% ready, 20%. All right. Um, we're going to kind of walk you through the process, again, before we get into the technical solutions. So at the end of the day, the demo we're going to give here is showing how AI and this technology can be utilized to grow the organization. But before we get to that, we want to step through the intentionality of utilizing the technology. So yes, we want to increase revenue, right? We want more business brought into the organization, but um, to think through, okay, what does that mean to the organization? Well, the executive team is wanting to increase revenue. That means we need to free up advisors in their ability to close more business, and we need to provide them with support and enable support to assist those advisors in becoming more productive. And from a metric standpoint, we're going to identify like the number of closed cases that support completes, taking this work off of the advisor's plate. And in the process of doing that, we want to uh, have support through our superior service generate more opportunities, that for sales, right? For the advisors to sell. And that's going to lead to more closed orders. Now, if we're making this investment in technology, there's a need to align the intentions of the other people. So when we look at advisors, the expectation is we're making this investment. We want you to increase orders, and that means we want you to leverage support in utilizing this tool to offload more of this work to your service team. And with that, there's going to be an expectation of increasing sales activity and and just focus around those high income producing activities that will bring in more business. So again, we're going to tie that out with metrics. So cases created, number of activities, number of open opportunities, and all of these things lead to ultimately more closed orders. From the service side of things, the outcome really is freeing up advisor time, right? And so their behavior is going to be resolving cases and identifying opportunities, trying to support the advisor in managing their clients and bringing them more business potential. And that will be tracked through the number of open cases from what is their capacity, number of closed cases per month, how well are they doing in getting these closed, and how much new business is actually getting generated. All right, so we're going to walk you through kind of this process, going from setting, aligning intentions to now performing the behavior that will lead to the outcome. So in this demo, we've got Anna, who's a top producing advisor, and we're pairing her with Joy, who is going to be her service agent, human service agent, but pairing Joy with AI to assist her in providing and just accelerating the experience and supporting each other in getting more business. So in this scenario, the client requests sends in just a regular request. How will rates affect my portfolio? And typically in today's day and age, Anna might never get back to the client, but in this scenario, she's going to send a case over to Joy, and allow Joy to then interact with AI. And start to get that response, right? And in the process of doing that, AI is going to provide information. Now, it doesn't mean she's going to just send that blindly to the client. This is where it's leveraging AI, but then circling back with Anna to validate what needs to be sent prior to sending it to the client. Then we send it to the client, and because of the prompt reply and information that we've sent, we identify this new opportunity. We schedule the appointment and get a new sales opportunity with the client. So walking through this is providing you with the interface in Salesforce's Agentforce. So on the left-hand side, you'll see we've got the client, we've got their financial accounts in the system. And so, when this question comes in about interest rates impacting my portfolio, you'll see that Joy is going to put that question in the prompt. And now as we go to send this off to Agentforce, we're able to package up the information in the system and include that in our prompt, right, to the GPT. Now, disclaimer, a couple things here. First off, from a compliance standpoint, just so you know, this doesn't leave your system. The information is just, sent to the agent, and then that response is prompted back into Salesforce. Um, and second thing to note is the prompt is only going to be as good as the information that you have in your system. So this is where that specificity of what are those accounts, what types of accounts, um, what types of assets are they, is going to really drive how good this response is from the agent. We now see we get this response. So after asking that question, AI is actually going to assess all the financial accounts in their portfolio and provide some, feedback both in information, but also referencing sources in the org. So knowledge base articles, related records, and different sources that are made available to the organization can get included in this response. And with this, Joy now can look at this response and may have to interact with Anna back and forth before we go ahead and send this off to the client. But through the assistance of AI, we're able to get better information faster, provide a response to the client, and resolve this case very quickly without Anna really being a part of the process. And while we're doing that, the client says, "Hey, by the way, we identify that there could be an opportunity for new business," and so now the agent is actually just assisting Joy in setting up an appointment with one of Anna's advisors on her team. So to recap, the outcome loop that we go through here, right? We're identifying, okay, we want to increase revenue. In order to do that, we need to ensure that we have accurate data in our systems to understand where there's potential and opportunity to increase revenue. As we do that, we align intentions with the people on the team to perform the new behavior that's going to be required in working together and working alongside AI. This improves service, this frees up sales, this gives sales more time, this generates more business, and the loop just continues to accelerate. So with that demo, let's pause here for a moment, and if you can answer just what tools you're currently using to leverage AI.
You'll find 5 options. You're using Salesforce and Agentforce. You're using Salesforce, but not yet using Agentforce. You are not on Salesforce, but would be interested in learning about Agentforce, or you are using a system outside of Salesforce, or you do not yet have tools or system identified. Very good. Let me share the result. So this is a distribution today.
Yep. So a lot on Salesforce, but not using Agentforce. Outside of Salesforce, using Salesforce and Agentforce, we got a small percentage there. So yeah, I think with where organizations are at, it's like AI, all of this is new, a new tool, and and this framework is where it's unlocking the power, right, of being able to leverage AI and the technology. So just to kind of, transition into, as we utilize this framework, here's some of the results that we've seen with the organizations that we've worked with. So on the operational side, being able to get that data precise enough to reduce and oftentimes eliminate, NIGOs or any delays in that operational process. From a service side of things, just boosting advisor productivity through the automation and elimination of redundant work when it comes to service. On the client side, that all of these things happening translates to a better client experience, higher satisfaction, retention, more referrals. And the most important thing is we're freeing up these advisors to do the work that they're uniquely capable of doing in generating business and getting in front of clients and bringing more assets into the firm. The framework that we utilize really is accessing a network of professionals to assist in this process. So, at times, depending on your strategy, we have strategic coaches that will assist in facilitating the identification of outcomes and establishing a clearly defined roadmap for your organization. And with that, we're assisting and then aligning that roadmap with the people in your organization that are going to own outcomes and the technology solution that is going to be delivered. And then, as we identify that technical piece of it, there's obviously the development and administration of that work. But ultimately it's all embedded right within the framework. So this is kind of the process that and the frequency of defining the outcome and leveraging the feedback right that we receive from the system. So when we get a clearly defined outcome, there's a continuous cadence, weekly, monthly, quarterly, that we need to do to check in on those and are we making progress. And each one of these provides an opportunity for us to learn what the system is telling us, right? And being able to actually incorporate that into the next iteration of work that we do. And this is just a testimonial from one of our clients around the framework and our process in working with us. And then we do want to provide. So one thing we've worked on, we've put together for wealth management firms specifically is this assessment to really help to identify what are those gaps in your organization to be ready to leverage AI within the business. And this really takes us through from a data side and people side, like where are those gaps to getting clarity to accessing a framework that that will allow you to be successful in leveraging AI. So feel free to click that QR code there, and that'll bring you right to the questionnaire. You can submit that, and and would love any feedback on what is helpful there, or what else could be included. And before we get to, we will have a sign up here for a strategy call and some other takeaways and Q&A. But if you can just let us know your interest level.
Thank you. I think it stopped moving. You can continue, Steve.
All right. All right. So here is here's another link. So obviously the questionnaire as well. But if you do want to book a strategy call, you can also click on this and have that booked, and then and then we'll kind of open it up to Q&A. If did we get any questions as we were going through this, Cedric?
Yeah, no question yet.
But yeah, if any questions or challenges that you're facing right now, or questions around the framework, what we've seen in helping organizations be successful in leveraging technology, happy to answer any of those.
I have one question in the Q&A. What is the methodology for your strategy call? What do we get from a strategy call?
I mean, really just like a bit, more understanding in, where you're at and what you could do to, be more successful in leveraging technology. I mean, I think, we have a lot of insight and understanding into the wealth management space and technology tools and what outcomes are actually possible in the space. So, just for being able to get clarity in what you're doing and where you might be able to improve or accelerate progress. I think we have a lot of experience that that could be helpful to to helping you drive this initiative forward.
Another question is why Agentforce on Salesforce? Could we use other tools?
Yeah, I mean, Agentforce is obviously native to Salesforce. I mean, there's no lack of tools, right? I think that's the reality is that a lot of tools can solve the problem. The bigger problem is getting clarity in what we want to do, and the tool set. I mean, it really doesn't matter what that tool set is. So we've worked with clients. We work with clients in Salesforce now, Agentforce, whether that, I mean, that is an out-of-the-box solution, and there's some cool things you can do with that within Flow, but you don't have to actually pay for Agentforce, right? Like there's other ways to incorporate the same knowledge and information and then pass that to another LLM or something outside of Agentforce. One nice thing with Agentforce is there are free credit, like with your initial license with Salesforce, you can get access to Agentforce without having to pay for it and start to use that as kind of a proof, like a test case, right? You get a certain number of credits without having to pay for that license. So it becomes a great way to see what's possible and start to get a better picture of what you might be able to do.
Okay, I think I don't see any other question. Last opportunity to ask question to Steve. I don't see other questions, Steve, but I guess people have the link to set up a free consultation, a strategy call with you. And I mean, you've been successful doing this in many occasions, so hopefully, we cannot do nothing. Yeah, you need to progress, and you need to start doing something with AI, especially because
Yeah.
your competition is doing it anyway.
Mhm.
That's what we see.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining and feel free to reach out and happy to help any way we can. So
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good evening.